So thoughts about how things are going so far?
With the spring ball and everything? Yeah. I think it's going great. There's a lot of guys that, we wanted to see how they were going to do this spring, and they've done great so far. I think we're progressing really well.
Remington was just talking about how the penalties emphasis and the effort emphasis. What's it like, if you get caught holding, you have to either, call it out on yourself or, go get it caught on film. What's that like?
We are getting serious about the penalties, and I think it's smart. I probably won't tell myself if I make a penalty though, but no, it's smart, and I think it's good, and we've really stopped the penalties since that rule has happened.
If you get caught on film, do you have to do twice as much? That's what
something like that. Yeah, I'll take my chances though.
How nice is it to have this core offensive line all pretty much back?
No, it's really nice. We don't have to spend too much time going over the plays, just a whole bunch of technique stuff. We're moving, and it's great. You have a lot of confidence that I could do this and this because I know that he's right next to me, and I know that he's right next to me. So it's awesome, having all those guys back, and it's a good group.
As the center, making the calls and knowing the guys around you understand, what their responsibility is. How nice is that just in your, in your position with what you're doing to have guys that, understand precisely what they're.
Yeah, when everybody knows what they're doing, there's a lot more things you can do. You don't have to worry too much about the small things. You can just move on and get going. So I know that I can, say this thing like that, and he's gonna know. Or I can just be like, hey, Toonie, and then Toonie's like, okay, that means I got to do this and this. You know what I mean? So it's kind of just like building chemistry with that group because we've been together for a whole year. That chemistry's really there.
How much for you personally? I don't know if easier is the right word, but how much better is it that you have a year under your belt now?
I'd say it's a lot better, a lot more experience. I just closer with the guys, so that it's funner to play with them. I want to do better for them, and it's just a lot more confidence going in to all the practices, and then once the games come around, I'll be a lot more confident then too.
Did you impress the new strength coach with those guns?
Yeah, something like that. So he's also from Texas, his last school is in Texas, so we kind of have that Texas relationship going already. We're homeboys.
Last year Nevada kind of commented on the strength of Travis Tuiloma. You faced him in practice.
Yeah.
What's he like?
Travis is a beast. He is a good football player, and it's nice going up against him because I know if I can do at least decent against Travis, I'll be pretty good against other nose guards. So Travis makes me better, and hopefully I do the same for him. But it's always a good matchup when I go up against Travis.
Pretty strong.
Yeah, he is strong. No, he's good. He's a good football player.
So you need those guns to handle something like
that.
Yeah,
I do. I had to spend some extra hours in the offseason because I got to go up against Travis this spring.
Coach and I said they're still looking for a little bit of depth in the O-line. What have you seen in regards to that?
Yeah, so there's a lot of new guys in that second group. I think as we go through practice, they keep getting better and better. So they'll be a good group. The freshmen are going to have to come in and be a big help. But either way, we'll get whoever is in there going, and they'll be a big contribution.
So we got to ask you about the brawl. So unfortunately, what you reached out to Memphis. What has been the interaction as far as between you and them?
I don't know. I'm not the one handling that.
Does that mean you just don't want to talk about it, or nothing?
No, I'm just not the one handling the communication between Memphis.
Oh, okay. So Kai told us that he basically apologized to their coach. You haven't talked to their coach or anything?
No, sir.
Do you expect to play the first game?
I don't know if I should say yes or no, but hopefully we'll see.
What basically precipitated that whole thing? I mean,
the whole little
the brawl. I mean, obviously you were involved in it.
No, it was a great game. Emotions were running high, but I don't know. Not much more I can say about that.
As you look at the O-line this year, who do you look at as the leaders of this particular game?
Of the O-line? Kyle Johnson, he's a guy, I think he's a 3-year starter. He's, if you ask Coach 2J, he'll probably say Kyle's one of the most reliable. But I think all of the rest of us have to be leaders too to get the rest of the guys going because they're all new and they're, not used to it. So Kyle is probably the main one. Riker Matthews also, he's a great leader. But the rest of us, me, Tooney, Louie, Brad Wilcox, we all have to be leaders also.
One of the major storylines in the first week of camp was everybody was amazed at the fact that Taysom was out there doing as much as he is, were you surprised about that at all?
Not too surprised because I heard he was, moving in off season. I heard he was lifting a lot in off season. So I think he's coming along really well. I'm excited to see him. He's looking healthy. He's looking good.
When it comes to overall progression, the O-line this year in comparison to last year, how would you say the O-line is progressing in terms of the running and the passing game?
I just think so. There's a lot of with that just having a year under you, you can go back and look at all your mistakes, and that's what we're focusing on now, correcting all those mistakes and just trying to almost perfect our game. And I think since that whole group is coming back, we're able to do that. So every single one of us has those little things that we need to work on, and we're fixing it here right now in the spring.
They went and recruited more offensive linemen from Texas. Were you involved in any of those guys being recruited?
I'd like to say I inspired it a little bit, but no, I'm just joking. Yeah, I talked to a few of those guys. It's some good football over there. So when they told me that they're recruiting over there, I wanted to try and help them get over here a little bit.
Freshman All-American last year. What are your goals this year?
Just to be the best I can be, have as much fun as possible.
So Taysom's been asked a lot if he's going to change his game, stay in the pocket a little more. Would you prefer if he stayed there instead of taking off?
You know what? Taysom is Taysom. Whatever he does, I know he's going to help us win. So whatever he needs to do, he's good when he gets out of the pocket. So, if he needs to do that, then do that. But Taysom will help us. I know he knows what he's doing.
What are you the most excited about when you reflect on the season coming up?
Oh, I'm just excited to play. Football's so much fun to me. I'm just excited to play with, get out there with my brodies again. And we got a cool little schedule, so I'm excited for it.
Jamal Williams is obviously not playing in spring camp, but you've got Algernon Brown, Talal Ching. Talk about maybe the progression of running backs and how maybe the chemistry between the backs and you guys' blocking styles kind of coming together.
So Algie's still there, and Algie's a baller. And Nate, he's doing his thing too. The new guys are doing their thing. There's a few things here and there when it comes to pass protection. When it comes to running, we just got to open the holes, and we know that they're going to do the rest. So as long as we do our job, we have enough trust that the running backs will do their thing.
When you make the calls, the offensive line, you send the defensive out, does that also reflect back to the backs and the passing scheme?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah, so depending on which way I want the protection to go, the running backs have to go the opposite way, and it varies a little bit.